You just got filled.
Okay, now I've now become a verb, I guess. I'm telling you, these kids are smart. Where do you find these kids?
So today, we are going to show you clips from Dr. Phil.
Ooh, Dr. Phil. I've seen clips of the show, mostly on Dr. Phil Fails, when people are really crazy, and then Dr. Phil roasts them.
Have you ever watched it?
No. No, I have not.
What do you mean you don't watch? Come on.
The crazy people that go on there, the people that come on there are just the biggest memes of the world.
Look, nobody ever stops by to tell me how well things are going, all right? So naturally, these people have problems.
Nicolette is beyond entitled.
I have these 2 Chanel wallets. But sometimes
At a very young age, Nicolette had her own credit cards with absolutely no credit limit. Some months her credit card bills would be $10,000.
Then why did the mom give
paid the bill
her the credit card?
I spent about 3 days preparing for that show. She got to the bottom line in like 4 seconds. Does she want a job?
I've given her about $100,000. I don't even keep track anymore.
What? No.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's a great reaction. I'd love to have these kids sitting next to me on stage just reacting as it actually happens. That would be great.
I think my mom should be giving me at least $2,500 a month just to cover my basic expenses. I need money.
Wow, she's really a brat.
I need money to buy clothes. I need money to buy shoes.
Like, no.
They just go right to it. There's no filter on these kids, right? I got to start taking notes from these kids.
What is wrong with this kid? Maybe like
Blow through
the mom just doesn't pay attention to her, and the girl just wants more attention.
Well, now there's a theory. Maybe the mom doesn't pay attention to her, so she just wants attention. She's trying to buy it, I guess, is his theory. That's pretty insightful, actually.
I make her life a living hell. I have my ways.
That's evil.
She's a Miss Sassy Pants. Why don't you just ground her?
Okay, Miss Sassy Pants, that's my favorite so far.
What would be your advice for this girl and for her mom?
Just say no. Either give her less money for her allowance, or don't give her money at all.
You're a spoiled brat, and you should get a job.
Stop giving her money, and she should get her own money from her own jobs.
Yeah, I mean, come on, these are bright kids, really? Just stop giving her money. What did I say to her on the show? I don't remember, but I'll bet you it was pretty damn close to what they're saying. When someone feels like they have to have all of these things, then they don't have much self-worth.
Well, my mom made me feel that way.
I mean, he's speaking the truth.
So many parents. I love that reaction. It's like, how obvious can you get, Dr. Phil? She's condescending to me. She's like, oh, okay, you're telling the truth. Get to something we don't know. Parents have to have the opportunity to reparent their child.
How do you reparent?
So you need to redefine
Do you just like
your relationship.
time travel?
Yeah, sort of. So you Actually, redefine that's a your good relationship. question. You do kind of time travel, right? You have to go back to square one and start all over again. That's a question I should have answered at the time that it happened. I think she needs to get a job where she works and observes herself doing the things that she's capable of doing.
Then get your own job, earn your own money.
Minimum wage isn't going to get me my car.
Yes, it
I'm
will get
telling
you.
you, these kids are smart. I would love for them to talk to her. She didn't listen to me. I would love for her to talk to these kids. They wouldn't take any of her crap. That's why you need an education.
Oh.
So you don't have to work for minimum wage.
Oh, you just got filled. Dr. Phil,
Now,
truly.
I've now become a verb, I guess. You just got filled. Now, that kid, I like him. He could be on my marketing team.
I mean, it's like good advice, but I feel like the daughter's somehow gonna like drag her mom out of that and then like just keep having her give her money.
He's actually very prophetic there because I think that's exactly what happened. They don't know, but after the show, the mother didn't listen to me at all. She just continued giving her money, and I think still giving her money to the day. That little boy is a fortune teller right there.
And then there's a big situation.
And then there's a big situation. Jesus Christ, you're so annoying. And my mom would be like, hey, why are you cussing, Jules? You are at...
This kid is like the bubble over my head. Okay, if you could read the bubble over my head, that kid would be sitting in it saying what I'm thinking. Do you acknowledge that your mother is the head of this family?
No.
Like,
Okay,
she doesn't have any respect for
if
other
she's
people,
not the head
so
of
other
the
people don't
family,
have
are you the
respect
head of
for
the
her.
family? If she's not the head of the family, where do you get these kids? These are not simple concepts that these children are spitting out. They obviously come from homes where parents actually converse with them, talk to them, give them some feedback. This is it. This is actually interesting. Are you the head of the family?
Oh.
No.
So you don't recognize her authority as a parent?
Without her mom, she wouldn't even exist.
Yeah. Does she cut to the chase or what? That's a really good point. Without your mother, you wouldn't even exist. I need her on my staff.
Dr. Phil, really spitting more facts than like any rapper today.
Well, I'm up there with the rappers. That's good.
I am obsessed with my appearance and I'm addicted to looking perfect. Looking perfect.
Oh my
makes me
gosh,
feel like
she should be
I'm
friends with
living
the
my
first
best life, and I
girl.
feel- My idea of looking perfect is my eyelashes done.
She probably thinks she's not pretty enough.
Yeah, now, seriously, out of the mouths of babes, she probably thinks she's not pretty enough, so she spends her entire day trying to cover it up. Very well said.
You should always be caring about how you look like on the inside, not how you look like on the outside.
Wow, she understands it, but that 20-year-old doesn't.
You look fine the way you are. I mean, if you're trying to get famous, then be famous for your personality and not the way you look.
Seriously, now these kids are very insightful. Every guest I have is a teaching tool, and this tells me that guest was worth having on because it stimulates that thinking in these kids. You might try filling yourself up by giving of your heart and your spirit and your soul, where you actually did something where you. He agrees. I think I finally said something he liked.
I feel like my opinion's like the opposite of his. Just like think about yourself and like how you feel about yourself.
I think he's actually not disagreeing so much as he's saying, have some self-worth, take care of yourself. I don't disagree with that. I think he's just saying it in a different way.
Did you see she started smiling? Everybody has that good side. I mean, like, she could change.
She's a little more optimistic than I am. I think the innocence of childhood, she's looking for the good in this. That's a good reminder.
So Dr. Phil has been on TV for over 17 years.
He's older than 17?
And it has over 2,000
A little bit,
episodes.
yeah.
As time goes on, there's gonna be more and more crazy people being out in the world and just being them like weird selves. So just Dr. Phil's there to talk to them and just show people like, you're a great human being compared to these people.
So as you saw,
Damn
Dr.
right.
Phil,
That's what I'm doing. That's exactly why I'm there. And people say it's a crazy world. I'll never run out of something to do.
do you think Dr. Phil should focus more on the kid, or do you think it has more to do with the parent?
It's because the parent isn't doing right and it's not acting well.
Sometimes it is the kid, but it's mostly the parent for really spoiling the kid or letting everything, all of that happen.
Well, sometimes
Isn't it amazing? They all get it. I mean, they're all saying the same thing. The parents need to step up and do their jobs. The kids get it.
the parents' actions and non-responsibility kind of rubs off on the kids, but also the kids. It's like they don't think about anything they're doing. We all need to think about what we're doing and how it'll affect others. It kind of
Once again, she's thinking, she turns this whole thing around 360 degrees. Yes, it's the parents, but then the kids need to take responsibility as well. I mean, she thinks about it from every angle. That is a very bright young lady.
It's good they're talking about it and it's good to like let it out and understand the situation more, but like in the way of national television might not be the best.
Very impressive kids. Where do you find these kids? Watching this and hearing them reason and hearing their insights, if our future is in the hands of that generation, I'll sleep better tonight, I have to say, after watching this. Those kids are bright.
So first of all, Dr. Phil, thank you so much for being here at FB. Obviously, things look a little different than they normally do due to us being quarantined right now. So before we get into everything, how has this strange time in history been for you and your show?
Well, you know, when this really hit, CBS came and said, you know, we have to shut down, and which I hated, but I agreed with them 100%. And I came home and thought, you know, this is the biggest mental, emotional impact on the collective consciousness of America since 9/11, in my opinion. And I thought that is absolutely not the time for Dr. Phil to go silent, to disappear. And so I figured out a way, like we're doing now, to do what I needed to do from home. I think people needed to be hearing how to handle the pressure, the economic collapse, the fear of the disease, being locked up all in one. I just thought it was a time for me to stay on the air and do what I'm doing.
So going back to our episode, what was it like to see the kids cast react to you today?
It was very impressive. I was flattered that they were interested in it, and I was very impressed with their insight. I was astounded that children that young understood that much about human dynamics in really adult situations with so little input and so little stimulus.
You've become an almost larger-than-life figure in the media, so much so that there are many memes around you online, especially on YouTube. So what did you think about this at first, and how did you come to embrace it since you're now coming onto our show and reacting to this episode, which is almost a meme in and of itself?
You know, I know that there are a lot of memes out there, and a lot of them are hilarious. And look, you got to be able to laugh at yourself and be part of the joke, and I get a kick out of it. It's interesting. Some things will really catch on that kind of get morphed that I never actually say, like, you know, send them to the ranch. I've never said that. I've never actually said that, but it's goes across the internet like wildfire. But in fact, while I've never said it, it actually kind of reflects my attitude and approach. So it's interesting how they interpret you, translate you, and put you out there, and it's still pretty on target, even though it's a misquote or a paraphrase, I guess.
So is there anything exciting coming up for you or your show or your social media that you want people to know about?
Well, you know, one of the things that I'm really working on right now is I'm going on to Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube every morning at 11 o'clock to just talk to people about what's happening, because I think that the mental and emotional toll that all of this pandemic and lockdown and economic collapse, I think the toll that the mental emotional aspect is going to take is going to be as much or more than the actual virus itself. And so I'm trying to be everywhere I can to give people answers about how to get through this difficult time.
So finally, now that you've gotten to see what some of the kids think about you and your advice, is there any advice that you have for all the kids who reacted to you today?
Well, just be really proud of yourselves, because you're obviously very smart, you're very thoughtful, you've got a sense of humor, you've got a great value system, and I suspect that those kids have a great future in front of them. Every one of them seem to have their head on straight. And what I would say is, Mom, Dad, good job. Really good job. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for following me. I appreciate you watching Dr. Phil. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube every morning at 11 o'clock while we're talking about this pandemic. So thanks for all that support. We'll see you around.